All right, so I think we are going to be beginning on the first map here. Elite Cup 4 semifinals are going to be starting on the first map, on a map built by Deska. Tuatara is the map that we're going to see here, and it is a dirt map, a very difficult dirt map, in fact, very, very technical, with lots of sections where it is about holding the gear, maintaining the proper grip throughout the corner, and our four players will be a Revolution TM from Germany, making kind of a comeback after being a little absent from the entire competitive scene. So we see Revolution back at it, trying to prove himself in the new game. We haven't really seen a lot from him in the new Trackmania game. He was mainly active in Trackmania 2 Stadium. So Revolution is back and he is hungry to make it into the grand final and to fight for the €300 prize pool in the Elite Cup 4, which is sponsored by Covered and Ubisoft Nadeo. So a little bit of money to be fought for here in the competition. Then we have hugo220, a very big name in the new game, has made great progress as well, participating in many of the major Trackmania competitions as well. Then we have Evon for Team Secret. Trackmania Grand League player, has done outstandingly in Season 2. And then Razii from Croatia, kicking it off here on the first round. Turbo, feel free to go for the first one here.
All right, let's go for the first round here out of 3 rounds on this track on Tuatara by Deska. Nice introduction here. It's a very hard map indeed. And also a very slow-paced map, so you're not really exceeding the 300 kilometers, I think, at any time here. But let's just see here. Revolution with a very good start here, goes over the penalty send just a bit, and so he loses a little bit of time, and therefore Evon and Hugo can come back. But it's still pretty close between all the 3 players. No one has made a huge mistake or anything. But just when I say that, the caster's curse is kicking in. First time today, it is Hugo making the mistake, 0.8 behind, and also Revolution. So the first 10-pointer is on here between Evon and Razii. And let's see who takes it. Evon with a way more direct jump here in this transition there. But Razii is still pushing it. Razii with a little bit more speed actually goes into the lead. And Razii could take that first 10-pointer. But no, Evon has more speed. And it will be Evon taking it. 18 thousandths of a second. And Evon takes the first 10-pointer. Razii with 6 points. I mean, in the quarterfinal, it was 7 points for the second position. And Revolution with 4 points in third position. Hugo has to settle in last.
That was an exciting round to begin with. Definitely interesting ending right there. This map is seemingly very transitional as well. You have lots of bits where you have transitions to other surfaces and small edges that you can clip, where you also need to make sure that you get proper grip, that you don't slide too much, because sliding is obviously slower. So great effort right there in the ending. And as you said, Evon with the first 10 points here. We're going to play it till 100 points. Including finalist mode, which means that once you cross the point limit, you need to win another round. You need to get another first place to seal the deal and to get that place home and to qualify for the grand final in the Elite Cup. Going into this round, we have a fight for first between Revolution and Hugo. Hugo this time avoiding a wall touch, finding himself on second place, trying to attack a little bit here in the drift, but we currently see Evon also pushing it very hard in that left-hander and getting a lot of speed. It will all be determined in the ending. We see Evon with a lot of speed. Is he going to win the round again? He does it. Evon just does it again, and his line definitely seems to pay off here because he is opting for a wider line and therefore generates more speed over the last stretch. So that is the next 10 points for Evon.
Yeah, from Rex to riches there from Evon in the ending.
Absolutely.
And now he's in a perfect match here. 20 out of 20 possible points and has already accumulated a 10 points lead. So that's a beautiful start for the Team Secret player. But just when we praise him again, he has not a really good start, but comes back strong here. But didn't really get too much of a good line there. So it is Hugo and Revolution in first and second. And then we have Razii and Evon fighting it out currently for P3. Revolution also goes for that no slide over the penalty send. So that's an interesting line that all the other players are not going for. Oh, but Revolution makes the mistake here, and he is now down to P4, and Hugo has a lead of 0.2 of a second, so he can take it a little bit more conservatively, but by knowing that Evon and Razii are behind, he cannot fully save it, and Evon's ending was insane. So let's see, can Evon pull it out again? Can he make it again? Good line for him, but no, he actually falls down, and it is Hugo winning it. Razii in second, and Evon actually gets overtaken by Revolution as well because he had to respawn. So not a good ending for Evon. And yeah, Hugo takes his first 10-pointer in this match.
So Evon was trying, you could clearly see that he was trying to use all the space he had to minimize the amount of drift that he did on that transition. Like you saw that little transition that went from road to the dark platform, and he just went out a little too much, got stuck on the edge on the left side, and that is the instant rip, of course.
Yeah.
So overall, a very good map for Evon, though. The Polish player currently leading the field with 23 points. Hugo with 17, Razii with 15, and Revolution with 14. So this player field is still really, really close to each other. And the next map, Remedy by Kisla, another very big name here, contributing a map for the competition. Kisla having built a lot of maps, including maps for the Trackmania Grand League, for basically the biggest competition in the game, for the official league. And this one is resembling the Tech style, a map that heavily bases on drifts on tarmac surface. Very difficult to kind of get all the angles, very precise drifts required, some gear management on top of that. And yeah, have you played these maps actually, Turbo, or is it like just the spectating experience that you're kind of embracing here?
No, I just have the spectating experience. I didn't have the time to really play those tracks because you mentioned it. Those tracks are super, super hard, and I didn't want to like learn those tracks because just getting a run through here, especially this end jump, dude, it can get so hard here. So I have not played them. What about you, actually? Have you also, or have you only watched them as well, or?
Yeah, same here basically. I mean, I'm not participating in the competition myself, so there's not really an incentive to play them, because watching is usually enough. As an experienced caster in the game, of course, you can learn the maps by just watching. Am I right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the maps look so easy, right? So why not participating next time? But yeah, it's actually Hugo's map pick here, and Hugo has a very good start. So kick it over, Riol, here for that first round on Remedy.
Yeah, so Hugo, obviously a very versatile player together with all the others, but I think he does exceed particularly on maps that require drifting. So he is right now opting for a very tight line, but all the other players are on a similar pace. Right now, Evon actually in the lead by a huge margin, really pushing it there to the limits, and Evon is leading. Hugo, however, is actually attacking here on the dirt section, minimizing the steering just a little bit more than Evon,
Oh!
but he crashes on the outside, and that is the rip for Hugo. The last jump will be cleared by everyone else, and that is Evon winning the next round. That is a 3 out of 4 for the Polish player. Team Secret is surely going to be happy about this performance. He is getting the next 10 points, now leading over Revolution by 13 points.
Yeah, so Evon, a player really that has improved so much in the last couple of months. And also a very impressive combine result for him. Playing super well in that, and now he's leading already with 13 points, so what a great performance. And yeah, let's see if he can win yet another round, if he can make it 4 out of 5, or if Razii, Revolution, or Hugo can dethrone him just a little bit and come closer. Right now it's looking good for Evon. Beautiful nosedive there. It's really hard to get this transition since you can get a penalty there pretty easily, but all the players have survived it. Hugo up in that battle for that second position. It is Razii falling a bit behind though, so Razii won't have a saying here. He's 0.4 behind, but look at this battle. Evon with a mistake, and it's now Hugo versus Revolution, and it's ending. Revolution with a good amount of speed, but Hugo with a more direct approach here. So Hugo has tons of room to work with here, 0.27, and he can take this ending rather conservatively. And yes, indeed, he will win it here with a 54.56. Also a good time. I mean, just 0.4 behind his match PB, but it's enough for a 10-pointer for Hugo.
The first 10 points for Hugo, and that is hopefully going to be a bit of a motivation boost for him as he shoots up to second place in the scoreboard now. He is 6 points behind Evon, who so far only got either first or last. So it seems like for Evon right now, it's either really sick or he just crashes and gets last. Let's go into the next round here on Remedy. This is the last round, and so far we have a clean start for everyone. Razii a little bit behind so far, lacking a little of pace here, passing Evon, who got a bad transition into the sausage block there, where you have a small bump that you can use to get automatically into a drift, and that is Razii touching the wall on the outside, interrupting my flow here, and that is going to be most likely a 4th place there for the Croatian player. Hugo still leading there, but anything can happen. Let's take a look here. The dirt, very nicely driven by Hugo, minimizing the amount of steering, very important. And now it's going to come down to the ending. Revolution actually has more speed and jumps a little lower off the ramp. And that is indeed the 10 points for the German player. Revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Really risky stuff there in the end. That could have gone wrong, but now the scoreboard is really close, Turbo. Have you seen it? 40, 36, 36, and 26.
26? Yeah, 26 or 23, something like that. But I think it's Razii. Razii is in last right now, so he
Yep.
is. Ah, yeah, it's 26. Okay, so Razii is in last, so he is 10 points behind. But I mean, we play till two victorious players, and of course, players have to pass this 100 points barrier. And I think this was actually Razii's pick, so it's his time to shine here on Nival,
Ooh.
which is the RPG map in this competition. It's a very, very hard map. Especially, I mean, just the start. By just misalign your car by a tiny bit here, you can easily, or you can easily not make it. And you have a lot of transitions here, a lot of things to clear. And Hugo was super sick on this map. So interested to see how Razii will perform on this map, since he has to push it. He's already 10 points behind. And yeah, also a good performance here from, like all the other players. I mean, Razii has fallen a bit behind, but he's not particularly playing bad. It just, the other players just yoinking 10 pointers from another.
Yep, exactly. And that's obviously the thing in Cup mode as well, that as a consistent player, even when consistency matters in a format like this, sometimes you also just need to go balls in and get those 10 points. And if you don't get that, then it can actually still be a bad thing for you, because you just can't benefit from the big points that are being distributed in the first two positions. First and second are worth so much more, you know? The third and fourth places, of course you get points, but in comparison to what you can gain in the first or second round, it's just so much more. So risking it sometimes is actually going to pay off, and risking it on this map could go either way. You've seen the warm-up here driven by the players, and this map is actually very difficult. It is a lot about minimizing airtime. Generally in Trackmania, you have to make sure to keep grip, to maintain ground contact for as long as possible, to maximize acceleration, to maximize the speed outcome. And also on this map, you see the set of transitions right there. The lower you jump, the earlier you touch the ground, the more speed you get. And Hugo actually put that to a great portray, who is currently leading the race here in front of Revolution and Razii. Evon finding himself a little bit behind, but obviously he can benefit from mistakes there. We see Ravi with a little bit... Razii, I mean, with some lower speed here. Oh, but Evon clipping. Is he going to make the jump? Just barely by a hair. And this map is also very difficult when it comes to the acceleration penalty.
Yeah.
This is also something you definitely need to keep in mind. But let's take a look at the round here. We see Revolution versus Hugo. Hugo really aggressive, minimizing the airtime there to a minimum there, getting a lot more speed down to the finish straight, and he will win in front of Revolution with a 57.91. That is a great effort right there by Hugo, and that will put him to first place in the scoreboard, Turbo.
Yeah, great performance by Hugo, and I think you named a very important part, which is kind of a nerve, and also like a thing where I don't really enjoy playing RPG at the moment, is the acceleration penalty. Because, I mean, we could have seen Evon just clipping it there a tiny bit, and sometimes you lose speed, but yeah, it's actually Revolution making that first mistakes by the looks of it. But yeah, you lose speed just arbitrarily for me, and sometimes it can get really frustrating. But those things also occur to the other players. But let's focus on the round here, as we have Razii in the lead. Evon is pushing it though, gets a very, very direct approach, and therefore a lot of speed, so he goes over into the lead. But nothing is decided between the players. Quarter of a second between him and Hugo, who's currently occupying P number 3. Now we are approaching the ending. Only 15 seconds left on the track. Evon goes for a good jump. Razii, a little bit of a misalignment. Look at Hugo. Hugo's fully risking it here for the biscuit, but Razii gets it good here as well. Had a better apex, and Evon making a mistake at Hugo. All of a sudden, from third to first. Wait, huh? What happened to Hugo there? What? What happened? So Razii wins it here over Hugo. I'm not sure how he lost speed, but maybe he got a penalty. I'm not sure about that, but Hugo has to settle down on P2.
That was a twist of events right there towards the last couple corners.
Oh, man.
All of a sudden, we've seen 5 position changes in 1 second. And that is Razii finally winning his first 10 points. And this is maybe the motivation boost he needed together with Hugo. For Hugo, it worked. So maybe it's also going to work for Razii, who is now also leading the field, opting for a very tight drift. And is right now finding himself in first place, just in front, or rather inside of Revolution. Hugo is a bit behind, and where is Evon? Oh. Evon with the certified Kurva moment right there. Already 10 seconds behind. And that is not looking good here for him, as he's most likely going to have to settle with another 3 points here. Let's take a look at the fight for first. Hugo with a lot of speed. He's really looking good here. But Revolution also with tons of speed there, almost smashing his forehead into the checkpoint there. That was really good. And I think we lost Razii as well. Razii with the next huge mistake. And that is going to leave us with 2 players of Revolution also bonking. This is a bonk fiesta right here, ladies and gentlemen. Hugo, the only player who actually survives. And he will finish with a 58.32, which is not even the fastest time that has been driven in this match. But he manages to just get those basically free 10 points.
Yeah, and that was actually the story about this map yesterday. We had a lot of rounds where players just had a distance to each other from like 1 to 2 seconds, and it was not really that entertaining to watch. But you can really see how rapidly this map can change here, like the matter of events, as we've seen in round number 2. And yeah, actually, let's take a look onto the scoreboard, as we have Hugo with a 11-point lead over Revolution, and then it's 1 point between them. And Razii has also come a considerable amount closer here, coming to a map number 4. Of course, players have to get to that 100-point limit and have to win 1 more round in order to secure themselves a spot in the final, which will be played after the semi-final 2. Next map is Untamed Heart by Firestorm, and the map really reminded me of Trackmania Grand League Riolu.
Yeah, this map definitely made the impression of having this kind of speed tech, little bit faster style. And that is what I think has been the running gag throughout the entire season of the Trackmania Grand League Season 2, where many maps have actually been a bit faster, a bit fast-paced, where the average speed has been significantly higher than on your regular competitive map in Trackmania. So this map by German builder Firestorm, called Untamed Heart, is, as you can see, using bits on dirt, on road, and also on ice. There was a small section on ice in the bobsleigh. But not only the bobsleigh, but also the ending. And when I saw the replay, the World Record replay, I was like, oh no, that is such a hard ending, because you basically have to drive up the ice ramp and line up yourself perfectly so that you don't have to do a lot of steering adjustments to make it up into the ring finish. So you have to get the angle straight, and then you also need to make sure to avoid making too many corrections, because every correction on ice actually slows you down. So ideally, you hit the angle and you just let the car go. And yeah, I think this ending is gonna cause a couple upsets here. Let's take a look at the first round. We see Hugo right now being our cameraman, together with Razii, leading the field over Evon and Revolution, who are a little bit behind. Slightly different approaches here. Evon opting for a bit more speed, and it does pay off. Dropping into the dirt. Evon very tight, hits the checkpoint. He is out. Hugo still in the lead. Revolution will inherit that second place, and Razii is still on third. So pretty close battle as we go through the looping, where it is obviously faster to take the loop. People might think, hey, could you cut that loop? But no, you obviously have to take the loop to maintain that speed. And Revolution, in the meantime, has taken over that first place. Very nice drift there by the German player. In fact, playing with the keyboard as well. And, oh, very different line by Revolution. Not going up the banking there in the dirt section. Not sure if that is a good or a bad idea. Razii is closing in and will be decided in the ending. Who is going to hit that ring a bit better? Looks like both of them have a similar trajectory, and Revo will stay ahead by 0.04 of a second. That was a very close battle here. And Hugo will take third. Evon finishes on fourth and will therefore drop down even further for the fight for first. Hugo 66 and Revolution 61.
Yeah, but it's getting very cozy here. I mean, also Razii's coming closer to Evon after Evon's really good start on map number 1, the dirt map, which will become after this map. He has dropped down to P3 and is 8 points behind Revolution right now, who's doing an outstandingly well job. Also the ending, I was thinking that his ending was actually way slower, but he was able to stay ahead. So let's see if he can make it again in this round, as we have Evon not bonking into the CP this time around. But still, Evon is on P4. Goes for the more direct approach, more inside line. I was thinking that he was crashing there, but copes it very good. Hugo's in the lead, 0.2 of a second. The ice part you really want to also not steer as much as possible here and want to get a good alignment here, which Evon quite didn't get too well here. So it's Hugo versus Revolution here in this ending section. Also, Evon is closing in. 0.2 of a second still between him and the leader, who's Hugo. Hugo with a beautiful dirt section there. Generates a lot of speed as well as Evon. Evon can close into Revolution here. Has more speed. Now the ending will decide it. Evon is in the lead. Can he keep it up here? Can he get himself the 6-pointer? Yes, he will do so indeed. And Hugo with a 102.34. A great time. Only 0.3 behind the fastest match time here by Azion. So great time by Hugo, extending his lead here towards Revolution to 11 points.
Very nicely done by the French player, and yeah, that time was definitely a good one, especially on a track of this length. It is difficult to keep up the pace and to avoid making mistakes, especially in a pressure situation like this one. Obviously, we are just in the semi-final, but it is about qualifying for the grand final, as you said. Revolution with the first mistake, unfortunately dropping down here, and he will be out of the race entirely. Evon with a terrible line down the dirt, and will drop down like 0.4 of a second compared to Razii and Hugo, who now took over first and second place respectively. Going through the looping, we see Razii with a very comfortable lead. He could almost save the ending to make sure he gets the 10 points that he desperately needs. Evon landing too much on his side, having a little bit too much tilt coming out of that dirt ramp, and will land not that well. So the fight for first looking to be between Hugo and Razii. Is Hugo going to make something happen? The speed outcome for both players pretty similar, so it will be decided in the ice. Hugo actually with a much more inside approach, and he gets it! Oh my god!
Yo!
He actually gets it. He
Madman.
passes Razii by 0.04 of a second. Hugo with the inside line, traveling less distance up that ramp into the ring finish, and Razii, who went way too high, will get dropped down to second place after having led the field by like 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, I think Razi's thinking was there, just save it for the 10-pointer,
Yeah.
but dude, Hugo was so fast there, man. He really pressed B for boost there, as you say it like that. And yeah, Hugo is extending his lead just yet again, and we are at the first map again, which is Tower, so the dirt map again. And keen to see how Evon will perform here, because he was very good on that first map rotation. And yeah, we have one more map before we will go in 3 live rounds again, and it could be Hugo who could get himself up into the finalist mode here. He's at 86 points, and Hugo coming in as a player who really struggled in the round of 8. He was only the 8th seeded player in there, so he barely went through into the quarterfinal. Is now up and could maybe make it into the grand final. So Hugo is a player for me who's hit or miss, a very risky player, but one of the fastest player out there, and he shows that he is in the zone right now, dominating this match, if you can say it like that, and is deservingly in the lead for me. Just after this risk that we've seen from him, so that was beautifully done.
Oh, what is this? First
Wait,
local
what?
record by Revolution in the warm-up.
Oh my god, okay, Revo?
Okay, not bad. Revolution definitely putting his skills to a portray here. Revolution setting a 54.27, and that is a time he maybe should have kept for the live round, but on the other hand, it's also, you know, marking your territory. It's a bit like a dog. So, you know, maybe not the worst thing to do here. So let's see if Revolution can keep up the pace here as we go into the first round. Revolution cutting the penalty sand by the most compared to all the other players, and doesn't really put him too much into a deficit right there. First place for Revolution right now. Very nice dirt lines there by him. Hugo on second. Evon at the moment not keeping up with the pace he was showing in the first rotation, in the first time we've played this map. So Evon right now in the fight for third place with himself and Razii. Let's take a look at the front. Revolution leading by 1600 with a tighter line. It will be decided in the ending once again. Maybe someone's going to get out that Hugo line, the Evon line, I mean. But no, both of them are opting for similar lines, and Revolution just again.
Oh my god.
0.2. Only 100th behind the time he just drove in the warm-up. Is this a bot, maybe?
Dude, and also Hugo getting second with a 0.38. What a great round from both of them. So I was thinking, they didn't make a mistake, like, let's say, Evon in the prior round, but they just drove so fast there. So they've embraced their inner turbo there, and are right now dominating this this match here. And Revolution with that actually up to P2, and I mean, he's extending his lead towards P3 here to 12 points, and also Hugo, who could get himself up to the finalist mode, And yeah, Revolution with that no slide. I mean, it's for me, it's impossible to see that he's pulling this one off with just a keyboard. So that's a crazy, crazy line from Revolution right now in the lead. And he looks like to clock in another bang over time. Look at that. He's point
Yup.
15 ahead here over Evon. So let's see what Evon can do in this ending. Evon comes closer, gets a good transition, but Revolution with a better approach in this section. Can Evon come closer? No, that is not the case. Evon will settle in P2. And Revolution again with a point 32.
Wow.
I think he is in the zone right now, Riolu.
He truly is, and it's definitely good for him because the gap between himself and Hugo was quite big, and now it's actually only 7 points. So in this round, potentially, maybe, Hugo is going to cross the 100-point barrier, the point limit that we were talking about earlier, the goal you need to reach as a player here in the Trackmania Cup mode. So 100 points is the point limit you need to cross, and then you need to win another first place to secure your position. So if Hugo places first or second in this round, he will gather enough points to get first. Right now, he is actually doing that. He is in the lead. And where's Revolution? We see Revolution actually a little further behind. Seems like he didn't benefit from that aforementioned no slide line that much this time around. So Revolution only on 4th place, drifting a little bit wider. He's slowly creeping in closer, but it's not quite enough yet as we see Hugo in the lead, followed by Evon and Razii. Coming down to the ending now. It is going to be between the 3 players. Anything can happen here in the ending. We see Evon going for his signature line again, but this time around it's not going to be enough. Revolution almost passing Razii there in the ending, but Hugo with a 54.464 getting 10 points, and that is sufficient to qualify for finalist mode, which means now a first place, and he is qualified for the finals.
Yeah, so also denying some points there. 2nd place would have been sufficient, but still he's up into finalist mode and coming, I think, to his map pick. So that will come in handy, very, very handy for him. Yeah, that's Remedy. It's Hugo's signature map. And this looks good for him. Maybe this will put a little bit of pressure on his shoulders because he knows that he has to clutch it out here. But I'm interested to see if he can make it. So also, I mean, the round was very close. It was 0.4 between all the players. And yeah, very, very good level here in this first semifinal.
I mean, on paper, if we take a look at the local records, we see Hugo with a 0.17 and Revolution with a 0.26. So on paper, these two are the fastest players. And Revolution could certainly, put a little dent into Hugo's aim of qualifying into the grand finals right now. Because if Revolution wins a round now, if he gets 10 points in the upcoming round, then he is going to be finalist as well. Which means we have a double finalist situation. However, they're quite comfortable, because if you take a look, Evon is quite far behind at the moment with 78 points, which is a little unfortunate given what great of a start he had into the match, where he was leading by many points, and also Razii with 71. So right now, it is between Hugo and Revolution, and it's looking good for those two. So let's see what's going to happen in the first live round here on Remedy.
Yeah, let's go as players have warmed up. Only Razii has actually survived this ending, but everyone has failed it, so also the ending will be a huge decider on this one. We've seen Revolution with a sick overtake here of Hugo, if you remember, in the first map rotation, where Revolution has gotten himself a 10-pointer. But let's take a look here. All eyes on Hugo, his first finalist attempt. Can he clutch it out here in his first attempt, or will Revolution deny him and get himself up into the finalist mode as well? We're going to find out very, very soon, as Revolution has a very, very good start, as well as Evon and Hugo. Only Razii has dropped a little bit behind, 1.5 seconds, so he might not play a role in this round as Hugo goes into the lead. He's 0.1 ahead of Revolution, and then Evon is also lurking, but Evon not getting... actually, he got good speed from that. I thought Hugo got this better, but that was not the case. So Revolution versus Hugo here, 1 car length. It's tearing those players apart. Revolution with a good line here. This will be all decided in the ending, actually. But Hugo's dirt section here was incredibly good in those prior rounds. So let's see, can Hugo use his first finalist attempt and survive this ending, or is Revolution risking it? Looking good for Hugo here. Good jump, and Hugo indeed will qualify with a 0.26, even almost beating Revolution's time, actually. So great performance from Hugo, clutching it out in this first finalist attempt.
Hugo delivering when it mattered, and that will be the GG for Hugo. We have our first finalist for the Elity Cup 4. hugo220 from France is going to qualify here, and that was a tremendous performance in the second half of the match. Had a bit of a rough start, but then managed to come back greatly and get that mindset straight. Going into the next round, we see Razii again with a mistake. Not a great performance here on Remedy for him so far. And he will have to settle for that third place. Revolution is 1 round short of reaching finalists. He's sitting at 97 points in the scoreboard. So all he needs to do is finish and get the points home to unlock finalist mode. So this round isn't really too important for him. But of course, it is important to deny points to the other players, and that is what he's doing right now. Revolution with a super risky line, actually. Really close to the left side and also
Jesus.
bumping over that dirt. What are you doing, Revolution? He is 0.3 ahead of Evon, and Evon also having to adjust his line multiple times in the last drift. And Revolution still managing to clock in a considerably good time here. 54.398 for the German player, and now he is going to be finalist as well. Is he going to make it a quick job just like Hugo? Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out here indeed. What a crazy risk there from Revolution. So he shows what he is capable of doing. And this is looking good for Revolution here. So let's check him out here. He is currently occupying P1. And again, Razii not with a good start. So Razii 3 times in a row with a mistake here in this on this map. So Razii not really feeling it. Evon still up for that fight, but he's at least 2 rounds away from finalist mode. So not looking good for him. If he would have gotten himself a finalist 10 pointers before that, he would have been in finalist mode. But he could grant himself a finalist mode this round. But that is not the case since Revolution has risked it here. And Revolution is in the lead here. Good dirt line, but Evon comes back strong here in this section. But Evon touches there. And Revolution has just to survive this ending in order to move into the grand final. And this is the case. Revolution with a 54.50 is advancing to the grand final alongside with hugo220. GG.
GG indeed, and also Revolution follows Hugo's footsteps and will qualify himself into the grand finals for the Elity Cup. For Hugo and Revolution will be the first two. Now we have the commiserations, the obligatory commiserations to Evon and Razii, who will be eliminated of the competition at this point, but they still fought well. Little unfortunate there for Evon for sure, as he had a very good beginning into the match, but then Revo and Hugo really picked up their pace, and I think the maps certainly suited them a little bit better than Razii and for Evon as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for the first semi-final, and the remaining 2 players will be determined in the next semi-final.
Yo.